Whoa, Decapre, whoa. Does everyone hate you? It might come to no shock, but when you get clone characters in fighting games, people generally don't take it too well. Clone characters will resemble someone else amongst the cast in a fighting game, whether or not taking things like special moves, looks, actual graphics, and stuff like that. And it looks like Decapre looks an awful lot like Cammy. Now, it's not to say this has not happened before. Street Fighter Alpha 3 had the inclusion of Junie and Julie. We talked about this many times before when we were anticipating the fact that a Bison doll was going to make it into the Street Fighter 4 universe. And a lot of people seemed relatively okay with. Granted, I looked at the message boards, I've seen a lot of people with their presumptions, and Decapre was high on the list. And a lot of people really saw it as Cammy with a Vega Claw. I mean, honestly, it didn't end up being that bad, but from what we saw, I would have definitely been more excited about other characters. Now, I know a lot of you folks have been asking, what are my impressions? What do I think about Decapre besides of the initial reaction video? And that's what I kind of wanted to talk about, and the overall reaction to the character, and why the hell does everyone hate Decapre? Pretty much the biggest reason is that not just is she a Cammy clone, she borrows a lot of stuff from the character, albeit she's fairly unique amongst the Street Fighter 4 cast. Her special moves look much different than Cammy has. I believe she actually does not have her ground cannon drill anymore and has an air cannon drill. And the most important factor that we have to realize is that Decapre is indeed a character that is not similar to Cammy in gameplay aspects. You have to charge with her. She's like Guile. You gotta go down to up, hold 2 seconds, and back to forward and hold 2 seconds. It's gonna make it dramatically more difficult. I do see a lot of people that are very angry about Decapre's existence because she seems extremely overpowered compared to the rest of the cast, and she's a mix-up character. If you guys don't know what that means amongst the Street Fighter 4 cast, there's a couple other characters that you might be reminded of, and it's kind of El Fuerte and Viper. You have to make guesses as far as where the heck they're gonna go, and they get big rewards off of it. And Decapre kind of feels that way, somewhat of a mix of Cammy and that put together. But I don't think it's the gameplay. I honestly would not be too worried about her being extremely overpowered. The guys at Capcom and Peter Rosas, known as Combo Fiend, is heading up the balance department and actually working hard towards making Street Fighter 4 or Ultra Street Fighter 4 a fully balanced and realized final iteration of the Street Fighter 4 series. So I wouldn't be too worried about her being extremely overpowered. I think a lot of that stuff is going to change when she actually launches with the game. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened within the Street Fighter 4 series. Not even that long ago, and actually a much different internet years before, there was a huge internet outrage to some characters that were added to Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and some of you guys might not remember this, but Evil Ryu and Oni were shunned by the community when they were first announced, and there was a ton of negativity surrounding them. Now they're pretty much pivotal characters amongst the game, and no one really thinks about it. And they're fairly unique amongst the cast at the same time. Evil Ryu really doesn't play like regular Ryu, Akuma, or Ken, so I guess it kinda works. I think Decapre has a lot of unique and cool looking moves, but man, do they look really similar to Raven in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And this isn't the first time that Ultra Street Fighter 4 has borrowed things from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. All the other 4 brand new characters to the Street Fighter 4 verse are from Cross Tekken. Granted, I'm extremely freaking excited about Dinosaur Goddamn Island making it back into the Street Fighter 4 games, but I digress. There's a lot of reused assets, and we've all known this. I think that a lot of folks anticipating a brand new, fully fleshed out character are really working themselves up into a corner, not really anticipating the fact that this game is built off the assets of what the Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken universes had to offer. But it's nice that they're adding different things to it, like the Edition Select. That's a really good extra effort that I would not have expected. Really, I expected this game to be the exact same thing on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, just to have the characters, and that would have been it, nothing else. But they seem to have added quite a bit to the package that makes it kind of enticing for me. Granted, Decapre doesn't look very enticing to me at all. I much would have preferred a different clone, and if Decapre was actually revealed a long time ago, it might have been a bit different. I think that's one of the bigger things, is that since there was so much time built up, there was so much time between the announcement of the game at EVO last year and her final reveal now, literally March of 2014, and then when you finally see who it is, it's kind of a disappointment. Mostly because we had all that time to reflect and anticipate other characters. There was even this fake leak that Alex was going to be in the game, and people were flipping the F out. I remember seeing images of this as fans were coming up to me at EVO showing me pictures of Alex in Street Fighter 4, and I was like, that's it, we're in, like 150%, we're going in on this game. And it ended up not being real. I think an inclusion of another Third Strike character would have been very good because the Street Fighter universe has a lot of really cool characters in the Street Fighter 3 universe, But, you know, Sean and Q and a lot of those guys like Urian and such are only as popular as some would like to believe. And I do think that they would fit very well. I think Sean is already considered a clone character, but he's already unique enough that you'd have to build unique assets for him. Decapre already takes a lot from Cammy. She's already taking a lot of what we've seen in the game already between her normal moves and stuff like that, and that's the biggest reason people were upset, was that they were anticipating something completely new, something completely fresh, a brand new character to kind of put a spin on Street Fighter 4. And the problem is, from a general perspective of just getting a first glance at her, she appears to be Cammy with a mask. And it's not the case. She's Raven, but a chick with a mask. And it's going to be a little bit different how we're going to have to use her, especially because she's a charge character. Granted, let me know what you guys think about Decapre's existence in Street Fighter 4. Are you excited to use her? I saw all the reactions and all the crazy negativity about the character, and her gameplay style is going to be very much different than how you're going to be using other characters in the game as well. I only hope she doesn't come out broken, but I have a good amount of faith that she's going to come out pretty good when the game does launch. I'm telling you right now, between all the characters that have been announced, I'm pretty much going all in on Elena as far as a brand new character. I'm going to be sticking it out with some of the previous vanilla cast. Either way, Ultra Street Fighter 4 still has me excited. I still love the addition of Edition Select, and I honestly hope, I really hope, that this game can make it to next-gen platforms and we get a somewhat upgraded Ultimate Ultra Street Fighter 4 for either PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Either way, like I said, guys, are you still upset that Decapre is a character in the game? Are you upset that she's taking the place of a different character? Or would you have liked to see somebody completely new and unique, similar to how they did with Crimson Viper and Abel and Rufus, and eventually Hakan in the long run? I think there's a lot that they can still do with the Street Fighter 4 series, and if this does well, heck, we might actually still be able to see Sean or maybe Q in the future, and that would make me an extremely happy dude. Thank you all very much for watching, and if you have any other questions or concerns, hit me up on Twitter, which you can find on the link in the description below. My name is Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.